Well, next we have got the fear of death. To some, this is the cruelest of all the basic fears. The reason is obvious: the terrible pangs of fear associated with the thought of death. Well, in the majority of the cases, may be charged directly to religious fanaticism. Well, there is the so-called heathen or less afraid of death than the more civilized. For hundreds of questions, whence and whither, where did I come from, and where am I going? During the darker ages of the past, the more cunning and the crafty were not slow to offer the answer to these questions. For a price, witness now the major source of origin of the fear of death. Come into my tent, embrace my faith, accept my dogmas, and I will give you a ticket that will admit you to the straight way into heaven when you die. This is the cry of the leader of sectarianism, and it remains, "Remain out of my tent," says the same leader, "and maybe the devil takes you and burn you throughout the eternity." So the religious leaders, the religious dogmas, the religious personnels, in fact, play the trick here. If you join them, you get all the prosperity of the other world, and if you dissociate them, you get all the miseries of the other world. Eternity is a long time. Fire is a terrible thing. The thought of eternal punishment with fire not only causes man to fear death, it often causes him to lose his reason. It destroys interest in life and makes happiness impossible. Well, during the research, we have reviewed a book entitled A Catalogue of Gods, in which there were listed 30,000 gods which man has worshipped. If we think of it, 30,000 of gods represented by everything from a crawfish to a man. It is little wonder that man have become frightened at the approach of death. These are the various faiths, or so to call them religions, who have not been revealed, but they have shown the craftiness of the people who practice it, and they practice it for their material benefits, their worldly desires. They don't want to have any spiritual benefit out of it, but they misguide the others for the sake of a spiritual benefit, and the return that they get out of it in return is not the spiritual one, but they are interested in material gains. This is where the hypocrisy of such personnels is expressed. While the religious leader may not be able to provide safe conduct to heaven, nor by the lack of such provision allow the unfortunate to descend into hell, the possibility of the latter seems so terrible